in a quarter of a century. Not that Arsene Wenger's Arsenal were in the mood to offer them respite. They were 1 point behind Chelsea in the Premier League table, and more importantly, 5 behind leaders Manchester United, who they'd just held to a midweek draw. Ominously for Leicester, the Gunners had won 10 of their 11 home games. Nigel Winterburn and Emmanuel Petit were both suspended, so in came Nelson Vivas and Remy Gard. There was also a start for Gilles Grimondi. Dennis Bergkamp was back from suspension. He'd scored a hat-trick against Leicester the previous season. Martin O'Neill's side had just made it through to the Worthington Cup final, but Highbury was a different proposition altogether. And it would be especially difficult without Emil Heskey and Tony Cottee, who were injured. That gave room for the Icelandic international Arne Gudlausen to make his first start. With both sides coming through testing midweek games, the squad players had a prominent role. Your match commentator is John Champion.
Arsenal unbeaten at Highbury this season in the Premier League. 7 wins, 5 draws. All 3 of their defeats in league competition this season have come on their travels. At Sheffield Wednesday, at Wimbledon, and most recently at Aston Villa. Here, Highbury has turned into something of a fortress for them under Arsene Wenger. But if ever there's a team capable of coming to one of the big grounds in the Premier League and causing an upset, it very probably is Martin O'Neill's Leicester City. Here's Ray Parlour, hustled off the ball by Lennon. Patrick Vieira. Arsenal's throw. 1-1 draw at Old Trafford on Wednesday was a fairly Herculean effort by Arsenal. Interested to see how much it's taken out of them. Overmars. Sinclair's header out. As far as Bergkamp. 3 of them couldn't stop him. Still going, Dennis Bergkamp. In play with Overmars. This time Pontus Cormack manages to clear. Nutty is it? Now Steve Guppy. Ullathorne. Martin O'Neill has won a playoff final and a League Cup with Leicester. It's the best times of the modern era for the club, and the prospect of another League Cup final against Spurs next month coming up. Vivas playing at left back for Arsenal today. This is Remy Gard. Change was forced upon Arsene Wenger because of those suspensions to Manu Petit and Nigel Winterburn. Parlour. Guppy. Highbury looking splendid today in the early spring sunshine. 38,000 people inside, watching on as Bergkamp attacks. Well, he's been in sprightly form of late, and he does have an excellent record against Leicester, Dennis Bergkamp. Remember that sublime hat-trick at Filbert Street in the 3-3 draw last season, including arguably the goal of the season. Lee Dixon. Sinclair's header as far as Parlour. Vieira. Arsenal largely in control. Mark Overmars. Vivas. Lennon tidying up. And here's Arne Gudlausen. Not for long. Scrappy period of the game. But here's Patrick Vieira. Lucky ricochet! Good save by Casey Keller. nod of acknowledgement from the player thwarted. Sinclair's clearance wrapped against Vieira. Adams. Gumpy finding Glenlausen. Is it? Has to wait for support. Here comes from Savage. Away by Vivas. Leicester desperately short of firepower, with Heskey and Cottee both out injured today. Here's Bergkamp over the top. It's Nicola Anelka! It's 1-0! Taken with consummate ease. Leicester will be concerned that one ball, one long pass, caught out their entire defence. It was Dennis Bergkamp that played it through, and Anelka, with his pace, once he was clear, was never going to be caught. It's his 12th goal of the season in all competitions. Quick look up from Bergkamp, then the dispatch of the pass off the chest into the back of the net. Vieira. Arsenal 11 times the league champions. Won the Premier League title for the first time last season. Also the FA Cup for the 7th time in the club's history. Therefore the club's second double. It's hard to better that. Here's Guppy for Leicester. Matt Elliott. Now Bergkamp. Anelka through the middle. And Anelka's in again and has scored again. You'll never find two goals that are exactly the same, but Nicola Anelka's brace today are remarkably similar. Both created by Dennis Bergkamp. Both involve his frightening pace, and both right-footed finishes across the goalkeeper. Perfect the timing of the release from Bergkamp, and not a Leicester defender in sight. Vieira. Adams. Overmars was clipped. Pontus Cormack. Bergkamp. Vieira. Anelka. This is lovely from Arsenal. It's the second time that Casey Keller has had to plunge at the feet of Patrick Vieira. Arsene Wenger in his 3rd season, having won the title in his 2nd. Rob Alathor. Glenlausen. Is it? Off it by Vieira. He's got runners left and right. He's picked out Bergkamp, who today is better at setting up goals than scoring them, it seems. But it is wave after wave of Arsenal attacking. These two sides drew one apiece at Filbert Street back in September, when Leicester were up to their usual tricks against the big boys, holding the lead for most of the match through Heskey, and then only conceding an equaliser in stoppage time to Stephen Hughes. That's Adams' header. Parlour left it a little short. Clearance by Remy Gard. Sinclair. Bergkamp. Look at the space. Ray Parlour. And all three goals have now been set up by the same player. Dennis Bergkamp. It's all to do with the timing of the pass. And Parlour cutting in from the right flank. Similar to Anelka in the previous two goals, driving the ball across Casey Keller and into the far corner. It's a struggle. Arthorne. Bergkamp. What next? That's what. Vieira. Nearly. He's in the mood all right today, Dennis Bergkamp. And when he's in the mood, the opposition tend to suffer. It's amazing that he struggled at Inter when he went from Ajax to play in Italy. Here's Ray Parlour. Lee Dixon. Grimondi. This game as good as one already. Vieira. Here's Overmars. Anelka has a first-half hat-trick. And what's more, he's barely had to break sweat to get it. Last year it was Bergkamp that got a hat-trick against Leicester. This time round it's 19-year-old Nicola Anelka. Served up for him neatly, tastefully on a plate by Overmars. Arsenal's pace is simply too much for Leicester. It's 4 and it's not even half-time yet. Overmars. Surely not a fifth before the break. Taking on Cormac, the Swede. And nodded behind by Sinclair. Well, the clock end behind that goal in raptures at the moment. I've had glimpses of this sort of football from Arsenal, but never quite as sustained as this before. Well, what a shame that it has to be interrupted at all. Leicester will be grateful, but for the neutral it's been just wonderful watching Dennis Bergkamp at Arsenal. And a clinical dissection that they've carried out of visiting Leicester City. Bergkamp creating 3 of the 4 goals. The first 3, 2 of them for Anelka, 1 for Ray Parlour. And then Anelka set up by Overmars in the penultimate minute of the first half, almost passing his hat-trick goal into the net. He won't be 20 until next month, Anelka, but he's the spearhead of a particularly potent Arsenal team today, and Leicester have chosen the wrong day on which to visit Highbury, it seems. How many more to come? We'll see. It's Arsenal 4, Leicester City 0. Crowd gradually taking their seats again in the historic stands around Highbury. 2 changes by Martin O'Neill, Steve Walsh and Amdi Impey, both sent on. But how do you rejuvenate the fortunes of a side trailing 4-0 against a team playing cavalier football? Dennis Bergkamp, the architect so far. And here he is. looking for Anelka. Stubbed across. Sinclair. Maybe the fact that this game comes just 3 days after Leicester earned their place in the League Cup final with that 1-1 draw with Sunderland has not done them any favours. Set against that is the fact that that same night up at Old Trafford, Arsenal were in action against their great rivals Manchester United. Currently 5 points behind Manchester United and 1 point short of Chelsea. 3 points look likely to be added to their tally today. The Leicester Brains Trust, John Robertson, Steve Walford, Martin O'Neill, without too many answers right now. Is it? Put in by Grimaldi. Hard-working Lennon to the newly arrived Impey. It's a little better. Walsh. That isn't. Overmars, offside, Dennis Bergkamp. There's been a change of formation here by Leicester. The arrival of Walsh at the back, servant of some 13 years with the club, means that Matt Elliott has now been pushed up front alongside Arne Gunnlaugsson. Elliott, Gunnlaugsson, and the drive straight into Siemens midriff from Muzzy, is it? At least it's an effort on goal. Into touch. Gunnlaugsson. Overmars. Here's Parler. And still Ray Parler. Good chance. It's 5. And guess who set him up? Number 10, Dennis Bergkamp, creator now of 4 of Arsenal's 5 goals. In 5 months of the season, Ray Parler before today had scored once. Now he has 2 more in 8 minutes. And Leicester are being ripped to shreds. Come on, Arsene. Cheer up. Bergkamp. Overmars. Time to come back. Flag up on the far side. Leicester dicing with death every time they push up looking for an offside. Some of the decisions have been mighty tight. Elliott. Between them, Adams and Seaman cleared up any danger. Lee Dixon. Can't really criticise him for having a go at 5-0 up. Well odds were always heavily stacked against him scoring from there. Second heavy beating in the recent past for Leicester. Beaten 6-2 at home, remember, by Manchester United. And they've not won in 5 Premier League games since defeating Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 on Boxing Day. It's almost 2 months ago now. The League Cup is providing some solace and some respite and some glory. To be aware that their league position needs some attention. Bergkamp. This time it's Vieira, and he's onside, and that's a very good save by Casey Keller. Woodwork helped him out, but if he hadn't got a touch onto the ball, it would have been 6. Is it? Guppy. Seldom do you see Leicester City under Martin O'Neill as roundly beaten as this. They've barely been playing the same game as Arsenal. Overmars. Dixon. Flick from Bergkamp. And the emergency clearance by Andy Impey. Larson, escaping from Tony Adams for once, and from Grimaudy. And Elliott wanted the pass in the middle. First start today for Arne Gunnlaugsson in Leicester City blue. It's been a tough experience for all involved, really. Diawara. Bergkamp. Speed with which Arsenal break is phenomenal. We've rarely seen the like of it in English football. There's Diawara. All it lacked was an end product. Arsene Wenger has brought many things with him into the English game, but an attacking philosophy is one of the most attractive. Parla. It's been 40 minutes since Arsenal scored. And yet that 40-minute period they've dominated. They could have had 3, 4, maybe 5 more goals. Is it? As it is, the scoreline retains a semblance of respectability. Here's Diawara. Maybe it will be 6. Maybe it should have been 6. Inadvertent touch off Robbie Savage took it into his path. Just a question now of waiting for the whistle and applauding the performance. One of those days to fold away and consign to the back of your memory if you're Leicester City. If, however, you're an Arsenal supporter, you will have thoroughly enjoyed everything that's happened in the last 90 minutes. Dennis Bergkamp, absolutely superb, setting up 4 of Arsenal's 5 goals. The only crime was he didn't register on the score sheet himself. Anelka got a hat-trick, Parla got the other 2, and Arsenal simply were unstoppable for long periods. It was Wenger's Gunners at their very, very best. And they are still on the coattails of Chelsea and more particularly Manchester United. Lessons learned by Leicester, painful lessons indeed. Arsenal 5, Leicester City 0, a feast of football at Highbury.
Well, Martin O'Neill apologised to the Leicester fans after the match, but